At Atlas Valuation, we approach the appraisal process differently. For us, it's not about being the biggest. Instead, we take pride in providing the very best to our chosen clients and emphasize delivering a superior borrower experience, unrivaled service, competitive pricing, and prompt delivery. To learn more, visit atlasvms.com or call or click on the banner below this video.
Happy Friday, my friends. Most of us want excellence, but we really don't care for repetition. We prefer the highlight reel, but without the daily grind. But James Clear, who is the author of Atomic Habits, said something that I believe that cuts straight through that wishful thinking. The only way to become excellent is to be endlessly fascinated by doing the same thing over and over. You have to fall in love with boredom. And that, my friends, is uncomfortable. And for a mortgage professional, especially for those of you in reverse lending, is painfully accurate. Let's be honest. Much of what you do and what makes you great in this business appears boring from the outside, explaining the same concepts, answering the same objections over and over again, and walking seniors and their family members through the same fears, the same myths, and the same paperwork, over and over and over again. The problem isn't repetition itself. The problem is when our repetition turns into autopilot. And the best reverse mortgage professionals today, they're not doing something radically different in their tasks, but what they are doing is they're bringing fresh attention to familiar work. So how do you stay curious in a repetitive business like ours? Well, here's how you fall in love with the boredom without burning out. First, turn routine into a personal enrichment exercise. Instead of thinking, hey, I've given this HECM explanation 1,000 times, begin to ask yourself, how can I explain this just a little bit better, 5% more clearly this week? Because small refinements, they compound over time. Mastery lives in micro improvements. Second, get curious about the person, not just the process and the paperwork. Now, yes, it's the same loan program, generally speaking, but it's never the same homeowner. It's never the same set of circumstances. Curiosity shifts from, what do I say next, to what's really driving this person's fears and hesitation or their motivation. Third, you want to study your own performance like reviewing game film. Elite performers, they just don't do reps, they review their reps. So rewatch your presentations, listen to your calls. Notice when people are lighting up and when they begin to disengage. And notice when you should be talking less and also when you should be interjecting more. That's how boring becomes actually fascinating. And fourth, make mastery the game, not the outcome. If your only motivation is closing loans, then repetition is going to drain you. But if your motivation is refining the craft of communication and sales, repetition will sharpen you. Now, when you stop chasing outcomes and then begin building identity, then you can say, hey, I'm becoming exceptionally good at this because of repetition. In reverse mortgage lending, we don't win by novelty. We win by clarity and trust and consistency done well every single time, and that's the repetition. The pros who do separate themselves aren't the ones that have the flashiest sales pitch. They're the ones who do care enough to improve that same explanation for the 500th time for the homeowner as they actually did for the first. So here is your Friday's food for thought going into this weekend. Where have you let repetition turn into autopilot? Write it down. And then what would happen if you treated your boring daily work and tasks and routine as a craft that you're mastering? Because excellence is not built in the exciting moments, but it's built by those who've learned to fall in love with repetition. What are your thoughts? You can leave those in the comment section below. And before you go, be sure to thank our sponsor, Atlas Valuation, doing great work with residential appraisals. All you got to do is click on that banner just below this video, fill out a short form, and they'll let you know more. Have a great weekend.